My love wasn't ever a game. I lay my cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the Have I become a little too shy for love? I've been hurt before. All's fair in love and war. So I snuggle up close to the shell I'm living in. And if I let you in, another round begins. No, I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side.
Should I be scared? The feeling's so different now. You got me floating here, a feather in the air. Oh, but when the wind blows, will I tumble or sail away? Or would you have me stay? And what if I escape? I know
I'm spinning in a vicious cycle. I'm scared of doing something I'll regret. Maybe this is right, but I'm still staring at your silhouette. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side, by your side. I'm not afraid. We found something that'll never fade. We can be ourselves and figure out the rest along the way. What if you're everything I need? A fire in my heart, the air I breathe. What if I'm incomplete without you by my side? What if I go against my heart instead of confessing from the start? What if I miss out on the life meant for us? I need you by my side. I need you by my side. I need you by my side. Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my...
Ridiculous.
What's
And
the
yet-
what's the game called?
we
There
are.
used to be a game called that, right? Was it the telephone? Some stupid kids game where you would
Telephone.
say one thing and then the next thing would be down the line, you know, and by got to the end it was this
Right.
absurd whatever. That's just
Right.
real now. That's just like how
Right.
things really
The ori-
happen.
It was supposed to be like, how close to the original message can you get after it passes through like
Got it.
10 people?
Exactly.
You know,
Got it.
and it's because part of it was like, many of those people were determined to, you know,
Ruin the message.
fuck up the
Right,
message. So
exactly.
they were like right there to be
That's
like,
what
you
they
know, That's exactly.
Exactly.
I saw a shirt
So,
online today
yes.
that said, um, yes, uh, yes, I know America's a terrible place filled with terrible people.
That's for reminding me. That's what you wear when you're a tourist in another country. You're just walking around and you just wear that.
It's like, yeah, I know, I got it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The thing,
Um,
what did I see? It was like, I'm a big follower of Neil deGrasse Tyson's, and he was on some talk show with this
oh
jackass.
yeah, he's cool.
He was on some show with this jackass who was trying to get him to admit that the people about the COVID vaccine were wrong. You know what I mean? And he's just
no.
laying out the science, right? He's like, here's the thing, and he was very polite. Like he could have gone much worse about it. He was very reserved and
Oh
polite.
yeah.
But like the thing that this dude asked, he's like, well, I asked these people to come on my show and debate the other side of the story, and he was like, well,
isn't.
they feel right. He's like, well, they feel that by engaging with you, they're giving validity to your point as another side, and to their mind, it is not another side. It's not objectively true.
Nonsense.
So therefore,
Right,
why fuel it? You know what I mean?
right,
It's like-
right.
Yes. Anyway, we're live, by the way.
Hey everybody.
It was.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is a favorite of mine as well.
He's an American treasure. He really is.
Bill Nye, I
Love
think,
Bill Nye.
he did a debate against.
That was a mistake though.
William
The
Lane-
Ark guy, the main guy who made the Ark, the creationist.
Ken Ham.
Yeah, Ken
Yes,
Ham, who made the
Ken
Ark.
Ham.
I know.
Ken Ham and Bill Nye.
Yeah.
But Ken Ham is like literally, he's just so insane, and he's there's a friend of mine has a picture where he went up to Ken Ham was doing a video thing,
Yes.
and Ham, and he went up to basically to get his autograph or something, or basically to shake his hand. And so instead, he had his friend take a picture of him, and he went and he just licked Ken Ham's face. And like, there's a picture of him licking Ken Ham, and then they ran away.
That's amazing.
So that's a little fun fact.
I love it.
That exists out there.
I love it. So welcome everyone. We're here, and this is our amazingly 49th episode, which is
49th.
boggles the mind really
Yeah.
that we've been answering. So what's that? 5 questions, almost 245 questions. I did some quick math on that.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of help that we've doled out is, I mean, it's starting to actually have mass.
At
and
least
take up space.
245 people.
Like,
Yeah, you know what we did do sometime? We need to do a reunion show where we get those 245 people in a room, and we just sort
and
of
have them thank us.
yes, and celebrate with them about their newfound happiness from having followed our advice.
Or even alternatively, if they, I would also like. There's several follow-ups that I would like
Yes.
from DMs of just how things went due to our advice.
Like a
which
"Where are
was,
they
you know,
now"
definitely
kind
gonna
of
go-
segment.
Where are they now, and how much better is their position now from whence they were before?
Yes,
Before they had come to us.
like Nancy from Utah. Where is she now? Hopefully not in Utah.
Hopefully not in fucking Utah, because if anyone can just take a hey, if you want to get riled up about the Mormons, watch American Primeval on Netflix, which
Oh, no
is
kidding.
about the battle between the Mormons and the early colonial settlers and the U.S.
Oh,
Army.
this is back in
and
the day
Native
when the
American
Mormons
Indians.
and they were chased,
this was
basically
the-
chased west, and nobody wanted them there, and they kept pushing them out of.
Well, they were also like murderers, so like they like
Joseph
put
Smith.
bags over their heads, and like they murdered an entire wagon train, and then blamed it on the local Indians
Right, of course.
in order to
As one
try to
does.
start a whole thing.
That's right.
Right.
That's one does.
So that was like Brigham Young
Oh.
is actually a main character in the
Oh,
thing.
funny.
Like he's a
'Cause,
real
like,
bad guy.
They were big. Their last big spot was like I thought they were in like Chicago, right? Wasn't that like one of their big? Like they were
They-
pushed
they
out of
kept
New
getting-
York. They
they
went to
kept-
Chicago, and then Chicago was like boom, straight to Utah. It was kind of like just this mass exodus of.
Well, I think there was some stops and stuff in
There
Missouri,
was.
but yeah, basically
Missouri.
since Joseph Smith was a con man,
Yeah.
he kept getting like he was a known con man and started in New York with the golden plates and all that stuff,
Wow.
and he had already been
Buried under a
arrested
tree.
and was a known criminal.
Buried
And
under,
so
under-
the fact that
right.
he had to keep moving from place to place
Not get
in order
arrested.
to like
Yeah.
keep doing his
That's
shtick,
the law.
and he somehow got these followers to follow him, and
So,
then by the
yeah.
time it was like 1880, and we were like, or it was like a post Civil War,
Yeah.
it was like full on nuts.
Yeah.
Like they were
It's the
it was like
multi-wife,
a militia,
the
an
whole-
army,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
were
yeah,
basically
guns.
like, yeah, it was the
So you're saying
army of
a
Latter-day
man
Saints,
who
all
ran afoul of the law, assembled a group of followers, elevated himself to a position of power in order to avoid prosecution. I've never heard such
that
a story
sounds like
before.
something that could never happen.
Let me put my
I don't
finger on where that's happened
sounds-
before. Wait a minute.
I don't know. It sounds a little bit like
Little
too
far-fetched.
much suspension of disbelief.
That could never happen today.
Right.
Anyway, let's help some people.
But we don't want to bring people down. Let's act. Let's you know.
we haven't seen the
let's bring
questions
some
yet.
joy.
Let's not.
some help.
We haven't seen the questions
That's
yet. Let's
true.
not promise joy, but
I'm gonna start off with positive.
positive
Positive
intention.
attitude.
Positive intention
See what we got.
results in positive results. Let's hope that's true. Okay. First question comes
We shall
from
see.
Emile, Amelie.
Oh, Amelie.
Amelie, thank you. My uncultured self. I tell you. All right, Amelie from Knoxville, Texas. Knoxville, Tennessee. Sorry. Okay. My brother and his wife are expecting their first baby. Congratulations, future aunt to be. And the whole thing has turned into a war zone. For weeks now, they've been fighting over baby names, and it's because Adam, who I assume is her brother, Amelie, please don't use actual names, wants to name their baby girl after his ex-girlfriend, who he dated for years before meeting Sarah. Okay, more names being thrown out. He keeps saying it's just because he always
Could be made
loved
up.
the name.
We don't know these are real names.
But Sarah's absolutely furious, and honestly, I don't blame her. I've tried staying out of it. Anna keeps asking me to back him up, saying I should support him because families should stick together. This is a mess. I have no idea how to walk this tightrope without setting off a bomb. What do I do? So, brother wants to name the baby after his ex-girlfriend. Wife disapproves. Sister's being drawn into the conflict. Amelie.
All right, Amelie. Okay. All right. Hey, first of all, loved your film. It was a great art house film. I
Never
enjoyed
saw
it
it.
a lot. 4 stars. Anyway, your brother's a fucking idiot, and I think you know that. He sounds like he's basically as like if his name is Adam, he's basically as dumb as his Apple Curious mythological forebearer. You know.
Slip in the
you know,
Christianity reference. Old
Well,
Testament.
I gotta say, weird hill to die on, Adam. Like,
Yeah.
you want to name your kid after your ex.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, if you have an ex-girlfriend and then you get married and have a child, that ex-girlfriend's name is dead to you now.
Dead to you.
I
Dead name.
once nearly married a woman named Alice, and I don't have a Lewis Carroll book in the entire house. Okay?
It was
Like,
that traumatic.
that name is
Done
done.
name. So if
So,
Mrs. Greenpants, when you were having your child, said, "I would like to name it Alice if it was a girl," you would respond,
Well, in this situation, it would be it would be me wanting to name our daughter
I
Alice,
see,
and my
I
wife
see.
not being okay with it because
see.
why would she be?
right. What if there was enough
So,
time? What if
it
like
sounds like-
what if like Alice was your high school girlfriend that's not even real? You know what I mean? Like, does that even count? And then it's like 15 years later, you liked the name. Is it still off limits?
True. But if in this situation, it seems like if you have an ex and it seems like his current girlfriend, wife, whatever is familiar with this ex.
Yes, I see.
It
Right,
doesn't
that's
seem-
fair.
I don't.
That's fair.
And so
That's fair.
that by dint of knowing her, it's asking to not name your kid that name so she isn't constantly kind of reminded of it, or she's like, hey, listen, I don't want to go to a bad place every time I hear my kid's name, so can we just take that
that.
off of the
Can we pick
short
literally
list?
any other name except for
Which is
Megatron? Right.
totally reasonable.
Yes.
Which is why Adam is like, he's trying to get his sister to I'm like, it's
Oh.
like, no, like he's being an idiot. So like, no, you don't have to back him up because he's your
Dude.
family.
I need to jump in here for a second. Super J is back. So
Hey, Super J, back from New Zealand.
Super J,
Wow.
we missed you like big time.
We missed you
We
so much.
understood you had a fantastic trip in Hobbiton, and that you went to the
saw
Shire,
many photographs.
and that you saw Bilbo
was
Baggins.
very envious.
And that hopefully you
She
got
saw
to hide.
Bilbo Baggins himself?
Well, I guess he went to the Elven land, so probably was not around Bilbo Baggins. He went on the boat
Right.
all the way.
Does Gandalf like live there, or does he only visits every once in a while?
goes there
right?
to
Like,
smoke
only
weed.
when he needs something.
Yeah,
Right.
he goes there to smoke weed.
Or, yeah.
That's where his dealer
I
is.
think Gandalf can get weed or whatever the kind of weed he
I would
wants.
think
really,
so too.
whatever.
Maybe the hobbits make the best weed.
Doesn't- or grow it. But yeah,
Or
I think the hobbits would grow good weed.
The
That's,
hobbits
that's
would
just-
totally grow good
that's fact.
weed. Oh my god,
So hi, Super J.
he's back.
So
which is
good to
fantastic.
to
So
have you
yeah,
back.
so I can't get it. Amelie. It's not Amelie. It's Amelie.
Amelie.
Brother is
French.
an idiot. Amelie,
Culture.
right? Is French, right? And I know.
Have some.
I'm lacking that part of culture. So her brother is an idiot, and I concur with you. It is not like off limits. It is. You can't like the name that much that it's going to matter and piss off your wife. Like,
Right.
don't do it, dude.
Because like either way, whether or not it should be off limit, it's not unreasonable to ask, and especially from him, be like, "Oh, I really like the name." Okay, great. There are lots of names in this universe. Adam,
Correct.
like
Adam. I
fucking
know. Like most
relax.
basic. How basic can you get? Literally the first name ever.
It's like, so yeah. So that's
So I think you need to
It's,
tell your brother.
that's
He's
what
gotta
we have
drop-
to say, Amelie.
Yeah, advise your brother. Say, look, I love you. You're my brother, and I support all your choices. But this one, you are way up base. You got to drop this one. You have to drop this one. Trust me. Say trust me. Look him in the eyes and say trust me. That impacts people a lot, actually. Like if you're having a debate about something, like you just pause and slow down, and you look at them right in the eye and say trust me, and then you do it. Impact
Right.
goes up 3x.
Yeah, when you push them down the elevator shaft, they really do not expect it.
Well, I would not.
You ask them to trust you. It's like when someone does a trust
Okay,
fall and you
that's-
don't catch them.
Yes,
It's like it totally ruins the whole idea.
it does.
Um,
if you're gonna trust
know,
fall somebody, you must catch them. It is a requirement.
Yeah,
And
it's,
and I don't know why
yeah.
pushing people in the elevator
it's a
shaft.
bummer.
Anyway, Amelie, tell your brother he's an idiot. You've been dragged in it, and that's unfortunate. But you gotta turn on your brother on this one, and wrap it in the
Yeah,
words of
you don't need
support
to
and encouragement, but underneath just say
Or
drop this thing
wrap
about
it
the
in the
name.
words of a sister talking to her brother, being like, "Dude,
Hey,
you're
dumbass."
being a fucking moron."
Right.
Seriously, that is what you need to say. Yeah, you don't need to Dr. Fill it up and wrap it up in a
Right.
in a self-help bow.
Wow.
Just be like, "Hey, bro, remember how I always told you how you were stupid?
Yep.
This is an example of that. See?" And then go from there. That's how sibling relationships work. At least as far as I know. I don't.
Right.
I only have my own lived experience.
Understood, as do I. So yes, so it's totally understood. All right, our next question comes from Carl from Newark, New Jersey. I am
Carl.
intimately familiar with Newark, New Jersey, having grown up in the area.
I'm sorry.
Yes, it is a relatively unpleasant place. I do not recommend living there.
Relatively.
Relatively. I mean, it's not like it's Utah. So, Carl says, I was looking through my old photos on my wife's phone, interesting in and of itself, Carl, and found a couple topless mirror nudes she told me about 2 years ago. I kept scrolling through the photos and found the same photo a month later, screenshotted and saved, with her nipples painted over to blur them out. I have my reasons to think this is strange. Like, why would anyone need to blur out their own privates for themselves? How do I ask her to explain this without sounding like I'm accusing her of wrongdoing? Carl, so there's a key piece of information you're missing here. How long have you been married? Has it been longer than 2 years? Because he says he found the pictures from 2 years ago. If it's been longer
Fucking
than 2
what
years,
is happening?
right?
I don't. I
If-
am so lost.
So Carl was going through his wife's phone, found topless photos, but then found the same topless photos with blurred out nipples. Now, if he's been married more than 2 years to this woman, it basically means he's on a hookup site, posting those pictures, and that's what's happening, Carl.
That she's on a hookup site?
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Okay, so
The only reason you
he
take a
said he
photo of
was-
yourself
so-
and blur it out is so you're going to post it on some site. Why else would you do that?
right. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was looking through
Question two.
some old photos, which on his wife's phone.
On her
so
phone, by the way.
Right. So, right there, that's a big question mark of like,
Why are you
is
looking
it
through
just
her phone?
like yeah, they're husband and wife. You can go, she's like, yeah, go through my photos. Hey, check it out. Or
If she said
is
that,
he
that's
like
fine.
surreptitiously? So,
Right.
assuming that it was fine, he
Assuming
said
it's fine.
he found mirror nudes that she had told him about already. So
Yeah. Oh, she
was, like, the
told
first thing.
him
So,
2 years ago.
so the way I
But
interpreted it was
older than 2 years.
she that basically she told him I took some topless photos of myself, and she had, and then she screenshotted those topless
I see.
photos and then edited
I
them
see.
to blur out the nipples
Yeah. No,
as a
this is
secondary set.
yes.
And he's like, why?
I have to.
I don't think it's.
I know.
I think it's like
I have
dude,
to come
talk
in
to
here.
your wife. Who
Right.
cares?
I have to come in here quick and to say, viewers, in submitting your questions, please make sure we have the proper amount of backstory, right? Because there's key data that we're trying to piece together, a la detective style, and
Right.
if we're wrong, it
You
drastically
have to make a
changes
lot
the
of
answer.
assumptions.
Yeah, we've just made a lot of
Right.
assumptions on this one, right? We assume that it was well before you were married, that she took the pictures, told you about them, showed them to you. She gave you easy, free access to her phone. She handed you her phone, say, sure, scroll through whatever, right? We're making assumptions based on all that stuff. If some of those things are untrue, answers change.
Well,
But-
if she told, the crux of this is, first of all, I don't know. Carl hates art. I guess it's from what I
boobs
can
or
tell.
art?
She had. It doesn't seem to be about the fact that they're nude pictures, because he's like, yeah, I knew all about them. It's the fact that she screenshotted them and then blurred out the nipples, which, to your point, is how you get it past pornography censors and stuff. A lot of times is like, if you can blur out the nipples, that's how you get past the software that will flag it as pornography.
Correct.
But I don't know. Ask her. You're like, hey, those topless photos. I noticed you also have like blurred versions.
Why would you do that? That's weird.
Yeah.
And she'll be, well,
mean,
that's
this
when
is
I
your
was on.
wife.
That's what I posted on when I had a Tinder profile. You know what I mean? That could be your answer.
Right. Exactly.
And if it was before they're married,
that was my OnlyFans page.
that's fine. You know what I mean? It's
Or-
like,
and maybe that's something that so I don't think I just by asking, I don't think it's accusing of wrongdoing by definition. I think just being like, these okay, these are, so did you have to post these on the, did you have an OnlyFans page or something? Like, yeah, it's
Right.
just
Right.
like, I don't think there needs to be an accusatory conversation here.
unless, again, we're making an assumption. If the pictures came from a time frame when you were married, this is a different conversation. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so what you're saying is, if he knew about the nude photos, then then she took them, and then later he's seeing these versions of it and saying, "Did you put pictures of yourself up on a website?"
Yeah. While they
Is
were
that what
married. Right.
While they were married.
Right.
Did you post nudes of yourself somewhere?
Right.
I don't
Uh,
ask. I don't know.
I know, Carl. Please follow up on this.
I'm not
We're really
I'm not
curious what the
immediately
deal is.
jumping to like, because it's like I'm not jumping to like affair or anything. It's more like,
Right.
because
The fact that he said old means like from a time well past, maybe before they met. I'm assuming that, and if that's true, then everything we just said holds, right? It's like he was probably on a dating hookup site at some point. In order to get past the censors, like Green Pan said, you blur the nipples, post the site. Great. Sounds like this woman's a very good time, which is fantastic. Good for you, Carl. Rock on.
Yeah, and if she's your wife, then hopefully you feel comfortable enough talking to her.
Yes.
If you were going
Communication.
through her phone and you were doing that, surreptitiously, and first of all, don't do that, and second, no, don't say anything, because you're a fucking creep for going through her phone. So
Right.
you know what I mean? It all balances out.
Yeah. So don't go through her phone without permission. If you did, and if she gave it to you, then just say, hey, what is up with this? Why would you blur them? And have the conversation.
Yeah, just understand that your current and most pressing problem will always be that you live in Newark, New Jersey. Okay, so all this stuff with your girlfriend is really low stakes.
You know that smell
You're in
you
Newark,
encounter
New
every
Jersey,
morning?
man.
That's because you're in Newark, New Jersey.
Like, no, that's you. That's what you smell like based upon living in Newark,
Newark,
New Jersey.
Jersey.
Like it's sort of like when, like in Chernobyl, when the firefighters' clothes got irradiated,
Yeah.
and then the clothes themselves would like,
sure.
would cause radiation poisoning. That's
Absolutely.
you, Carl.
That's Carl.
So, sorry.
Yeah. Once again, we here on OK Seriously need to remind all of our viewers that Communication is the key to a successful relationship.
Also, I
Seems so
hate
simple,
a lot of
doesn't it?
states.
He hates a lot. He does. but
For
how,
just for reasons that are my own.
Yeah, no,
And are
and
perfectly
and,
valid.
and he's well traveled too. So this does not come from out of nowhere.
Oh yeah,
Um,
every single state I hate, I have been to.
Yeah.
And I've had an experience there.
I
which
do not hate any state I've done. Is that true? I've never been to Alabama and I hate it. I will say that.
I have been to Alabama.
I know you have, yeah. I have not.
No.
But there you go.
But actually, in terms of those, like Montana, I do not hate Montana.
I've never been.
I've never been to Montana.
Never been.
Yeah.
Montanans,
Idaho,
we salute you.
Fucking hate it.
Idaho. I've been
hate
to Idaho.
Idaho.
I've been to Idaho.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Terrible place.
Not worth the potatoes.
Awful, awful.
Yeah, totally awful.
So, yeah. So I don't know why we went down that rabbit
Tangent.
hole, but yeah, I mean, Newark, New Jersey is just a different type of awful.
It is.
You know,
It's pretty armpity.
Yeah, it's
And again, I
instead
grew up
of
near
awful
there, I can
people,
say this.
got a lot of chemicals
Yeah.
and stuff. So you know, that's what they call it, the Garden State,
Exactly. Very misnomer.
for all the oil.
The north is
refineries.
quite nice. The south is quite nice. The middle bit is the sketchy area. But anyway,
So
Carl,
is it Bon Jovi to Bruce Springsteen?
and then with
Bruce
Whitney, with
Springsteen?
Whitney Houston off to the side. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jersey's we got a lot of credit in the music industry.
Somebody. That's right. Totally. I should jump.
All right, question 3.
Yeah. Or AF5 question. Carl, good luck. Question 3.
Yeah, Carl, get. Yeah.
Sky with a YE from Carlsbad, California. So Sky, we already have your parents figured out, but let's get into your question here. So my sister got a super speeder and used an old license of mine. I don't know what a super speeder is. Is that like a language that millennials use now or something, or Gen Alphas? Like what's the?
If she's in, California, a super speeder is anybody, anything traveling over 100 miles per hour.
I see.
It's called a super speeder. It's basically a catch-all. That's like, you should never be driving that Toyota Tercel at 100
At
miles
100
an
miles
hour
because it
for
will
any
fall
reason.
apart, right?
That is
Okay,
not
got it.
illegal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got it. I didn't know.
So
that.
yeah, some states do like reckless driving or whatever, but it's
Super
just
speeder.
it's informally called a super
Got
speeder.
it. My apologies not for being up on the lingo. So my sister got a super speeder and used an old license of mine. Oh. Not only was I issued a ticket, but a warrant for my arrest because I knew nothing about the
Jesus.
situation. Never showed up to court. I had no idea. I worked with the sheriff's office, and the judge let me know they issued a warrant for my arrest. But given the circumstances, they let me go, but advised me to see a lawyer. What do I do? Do I press charges against my own sister? Wow.
I mean, okay,
She stole
I
your
get
license.
the family thing.
They're stealing someone's license, then
When you're-
handing it to the cop when you get pulled over. It's like
It's ballsy. Your sister's got some balls. Giant cojones. But when your sibling steals your identity, resulting
Yes.
in multiple felonies, you are
missing your
allowed
court date.
to be like, you know what? You crossed a line. I am not going to state prison for you.
Right. Correct.
Like,
Correct. But to her
I
question, I don't
think-
think like pressing charges doesn't solve anything, right? You just need to extricate yourself from the situation legally, clearly.
Right. The wording that I found most interesting is so they had to let me go, which is it's a sad state of affairs when in the American criminal justice system, basically, they were forced to let you go simply because you didn't do anything.
Because you didn't commit any
And-
crime besides having your
and
license
that-
stolen.
And that is not the way that normally works. Like
Right.
innocence is not always a excuse. I mean, if you're
Yes.
black or poor, you're innocent. Who cares? We literally designed the system so that it wouldn't matter.
Right.
So, yeah. So yeah, I don't think. So, yeah, I don't think
Unfortunately,
she
though,
needs to see a lawyer or
unfortunately, she
anything.
might need to. Unfortunately, she might need to, right? Unless the DA, it all
Like,
depends what the DA does. If they
like
drop
to
the,
extricate herself if she's got any sort of
Yeah.
like outstanding,
Yeah.
like okay, like identity theft kind of
right,
things.
and if you
Yeah.
got to, if there's like points on your license now from this or whatever, right? You got to get all that taken off. It's like you need.
Well, if she worked with the sheriff's office, hopefully all of that was like from a legal
I
standpoint.
hope so.
But I think again, this is where we are required to create context where there might not be any, or
We are
assume
filling
some
in
things.
blanks again. Like a Mad Lib sometimes.
But I think you can. I think it's fair to say that. So how she got the old license of hers, not sure how,
Yeah.
but that with respect to the speeding ticket, all of that has been taken care of. But the reason that she should probably see a lawyer is who knows what else happened with the license,
Right.
and so that they might just be saying, listen, you should talk to somebody
Yeah.
because we're not going to help you. We don't help.
That's true, too.
We wanted to put you in jail, and now we can't.
We drop
So
the charges.
goodbye.
Right. Goodbye.
I guess
We're done with you.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd
That's
still like
fair.
to press charges, but we can't
'Cause that's what
think
we
of
do.
anything. But you look
That's true.
poor, so
Yes. No, that's true. Her sister's fucked though, right? I mean, false identification, this incredible speed thing,
because
providing false
because this also
identity,
doesn't
lying
elaborate on
to a
what happened
police
there.
officer. It's like
that's what I said. There are like a stack of felonies.
Oh.
On of
Totally.
each of those things,
totally
and so like where is her sister now? Like that's a question I have. Like,
right.
is she in is she in state prison?
Or does she use your passport to go to
Because-
Mexico?
Because perhaps the authorities, having now been clued into the fact that she is not you and you are not
Right.
her,
Right.
perhaps so yeah, I don't know. DM us. I'm curious.
Right, exactly. But I think what we're saying is there's no point in pressing charges against your sister, and don't worry about it. She's screwed enough as it is. And just make sure that you have totally extricated yourself, your identity from the situation completely. Make sure that's all cool.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not like it's more of do I press charges against my own sister?
Doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, in saying yes, it's more of like you are permitted to do whatever you have to do in order to completely extricate yourself from the
Right.
situation, regardless of what deleterious effects it has on your sister.
Correct.
Because she already put you over pretty good.
Yes,
so
she's fucking pretty good.
whatever
Yeah.
you have to do to take care of it
Yeah.
is fair game.
The only thing you could do, and if your sister doesn't have any money, like there's no point, is that you could do a civil suit against her for damages of the cost it took you to clear your name, basically. You know what I mean? If you did need to pay legal fees and all other stuff, you could sue for those damages, right? But if she's got no money, then why bother, right? Just do your best to get out of it.
Yeah, that just sounds like you have a
Your sister's crazy.
Shitty
You have a
situation.
crazy sister.
Or she has a very creative spirit. She's an innovator. I mean, hey, you're getting pulled over. 5-0 is behind you. Does she panic? No. She goes, just for this very occasion, I have my sister's license right here. Here you
Boom.
go.
Here you go, officer. Can I help you,
I
officer?
shall now leave and let this work itself out in payroll. And this is the process of it working itself out.
Good. Oh lordy. Oh, very good. All right. Well, good luck. Hopefully sister cleans her act up too. I mean, Jesus. All right. Next one. Amanda from Corrales Villages, New Mexico asks, "Is there a professional way I can email a past professor a picture of a bong? I'm a 22-year-old female. Took a physics course this past fall semester at community college. Professor was cool as fuck. He talked about Dragon Ball Z and weed. I wanted to send him a picture of a bong,
Awesome.
but can't think of a professional way to do it. What should I do?" All right. You start with
first
this.
answer
You
your
start
question.
with this. I don't even
I
know
will
what
say first, there is no professional way to take a picture of a bong unless you are
Thank
a
you.
marketer or distributor of bong products.
There's also nothing professional about
I
emailing
would
your
say-
professor a picture.
I would also say try to call them a hookah or water pipe so you don't get caught up in the whole drug paraphernalia thing.
Yes.
We know what happened to Tommy Chong.
Yes.
Operation Pipe Dreams.
Free Tommy.
Freaking travesty of justice.
Obviously.
In Operation Pipe Dreams, 55 people were indicted. 54 were given fines, and 1 went to prison.
Tommy Chong.
Tommy Chong.
Yeah.
For 9 months for selling bongs.
Right.
Over the internet.
Right.
As part of a DEA setup.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Horrible travesty of justice.
So, to answer your question, take a picture of your bong and send it to your professor. It's totally fine. Done. If your professor likes Dragon Ball Z and is like talking about weed and shit, and you see a particularly rad bong, and you're like, yeah, I want to take a picture of that.
Yeah.
Take a picture of it. Send it to your professor. Sounds like he'll think it's cool.
Yeah.
I,
There's no
I don't
professional
know.
way.
I
Just
don't
send the
think you're
picture.
risking your career here.
I do think that, well, he's former
mean-
professor, which is good, but I think that, don't you think that her corresponding
Oh,
with
right,
him
yeah,
and
yeah,
sending a
former
picture like,
professor.
yeah, don't you think her sending a picture like that is sort of giving overt signals that maybe she's interested in some sort of relationship?
She said she took the. I don't think so,
No?
because it's if she's talking about like if yeah, no, if she's basically saying, yeah, the professor was cool as fuck. We he talked about anime, and so obviously she has a casual relationship, informal relationship with this guy. So
Sure.
sending him a picture of a bong,
But
I wouldn't see
isn't
that as
that
reading in as, oh, this girl likes me because
But you don't think that's saying,
she sent me a
come,
picture of a
come
hookup.
smoke this bong with me? I might take it that way. I don't know. Super J, what do you think?
Yeah, I guess it sort of depends. Like she says I wanted to send him a picture of a bong. It could just be she was in a head shop and was like, this is an awesome bong.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
let me take a picture of it. And I wanted to send it to him because Professor smokes weed and will appreciate this. Like, that's how I think. I mean, I have taken many
Okay.
pictures of many bongs.
I-
I've
I'm
never
aware.
had a professor with which to send
Share said
the
pictures
picture
with.
to. Wish I had. But I did offer to some, but was turned down multiple times. But that said, send the picture. Do not worry about it, Amanda.
Okay, well, there you go.
That's
So just send the picture. All right, I'll go with that. I defer to your judgment on this topic, as I know you're more qualified. Armin.
that's it. It's just we're in a totally different world now. Like, Operation Pipe Dreams was in 2003, and that was back when. Remember, we actually had evil presidents even before, like, the Orange Madman. Like, there were bad presidential administrations even earlier than
Right.
that.
Right.
So 2 years to the day after September 11th, they sent Tommy Chong to prison for selling bongs over the internet.
Yes. Yes.
But now, just 2 decades later, except for I think 3 or 4 states, marijuana is legal either recreationally, medically, or both.
Correct. Correct.
It's like Nebraska, fucking Idaho is one of
Crazy.
them.
Who would have thought?
Iowa is another one.
Only when
but-
Utah goes can we all be
take that
truly
picture.
free. That's right. Take the picture. Right. Super J thinks that a professional relationship should be maintained, but
It sounds like they don't have a professional relationship if
former
she's
student.
describing him as cool as fuck, and they talked about Dragon Ball Z and
Yeah,
weed.
weed.
Like if it was like your boss or something, it's like, okay, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense. Like the first time I did coke with my boss, I will admit it's a downer, because now you have that as a situation, and
Right.
now you'll always have the back of that taxi cab in your head, when
Clearly.
you're trying to get a promotion or whatever.
That's
So
right.
get that. Don't do drugs with your boss.
There you go.
But send pictures of bongs to your professors.
Please.
I think
There you go.
that I think that line is
Nice.
perfectly distinct.
Let's go on to our last question. So good luck with that. But yeah, send the green pen says send the picture. All right, here we go. Last question comes from Ethan from Alexandria, Minnesota. My mom walked in on me, 25-year-old male, and my girlfriend doing 69, but it looked like she was eating my ass. She thought we weren't home and just opened the door when I was on top of my girlfriend. Slammed the door immediately, but my girlfriend literally locked eyes with her. I seriously don't know what to do. I don't want her to think I'm into some freaky shit. What do I say? Am I screwed forever? Asks Ethan from Alexandria, Minnesota.
Wow.
My mom walked in during
Okay, I'm not
69.
gonna formally sentence diagram. Okay, I'm gonna.
But I would say I want to start
That
with
was a lot.
yeah, it is, but he's doing 60.
This
Why
is
is
a
he
lot,
on
but
top?
Let me see if I. Well, let me see if I can get the details. So
Yes, go ahead.
So you were doing 69 while your girlfriend was blowing you. He locked eyes with your mom, and
With your dick
you
in
were
her mouth.
concerned that instead of just doing vanilla cunnilingus to your girlfriend,
Right.
you were in fact doing a rectal toss salad.
Right.
And so your concern is that she will distinction there is your main concern.
Right.
That seems to be the problem. Like, I was only
That's the
eating
bar.
her out. I was not eating
Okay,
her ass.
not
Like,
okay. Right.
It was appropriate cunnilingus and not some freaky ass play. It seems
right.
to be the
So
yeah.
he said it looked like she was eating his ass. So I guess she had maybe the penis to the side of the face and was. I'm trying to draw the mental imagery of the 69 here.
Oh.
It looked like she was eating his ass. So and again, dude, you said you're on top of your girlfriend. What? You're 69 and with you on top? Like, I don't think that's right.
Not the right way.
That's not the right way to do it. You're not doing it right.
Okay.
It's just more uncomfortable for everyone.
Listen, I know you're from Minnesota, okay? And who the fuck knows what goes on up there? You know, it was
Minnesota.
A few people from Sweden, established it. So I don't know exactly what's going on. Oh, yes, you're right. So I have just read that as just.
So let's draw the imagery. She's down here. He's up here. I'm sorry.
Yep.
He's here. She's here. Like, and I guess the penis is off.
Wait. What is it?
The penis is off here, and her face is here.
This is the penis. Okay.
It looks like she's like eating his ass because the dick must have been to the side, which might have given that illusion. And maybe she was licking the testicles or something. I don't know, or maybe she's trying to breathe because you're on top of her with shoving your dick down her throat while she's laying on her back, dude.
First, I gotta say, Ethan,
Jesus,
good for you. Good for you. I'm glad that you have a relationship in which you are feeling free to experiment and try different things. It's unfortunate that your mom walked in on you. That's a bummer, especially in such a very specific scenario. I don't know what type of relationship you have with your mom that it would. My advice is to never speak of this ever. Just never speak of it ever. And I think that'll probably be okay with your mom too.
I think so too. They'd be fine.
I think that is.
I tend to agree.
This, but that is if you are 25, that is your mom's preferred choice. Is to never have seen that.
Yes.
Never to
acknowledge that it was
eyes
seen
with lovely Emily.
Correct.
As she ate your asshole.
I didn't know it's Emily.
I'm
just making up her name, right? Emily.
I'm just saying.
Say
girlfriend
Emily.
needs a name, you know.
Sure. Emily.
Yeah, we'll say. Okay, Amelie. We'll say it's Amelie from the other question. Okay, it's that person.
It's that Amelie.
Okay, so Amelie from the other, that Amelie comes over.
Eat your ass.
She's eating Ethan's ass in Alexandria, Minnesota.
Tossing the salad, so to speak.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Sweet Jesus. So I'm still not. I'm still not getting the imagery. I don't want to obsess on this, but I'm still not getting the imagery. He says, "I'm on top of my girlfriend." Is what he says. I was on top of her. We're doing 69, which means you are in an inverted position, just like Maverick and the first Top Gun was. You are inverted. So you are on your hands and knees with your penis in her mouth, in the girlfriend's mouth. There was a time period when the penis was not in her mouth, but your legs are there. So I had your mom walk in and lock eyes with her when your legs are straddling her head because you're on top. You follow me on this?
I'm able to visualize it though. I think it also depends on the positioning of the bed and the positioning of the door, from where.
That's fair. I'm assuming a profile view. You're right. That's true. I'm making an assumption. She could have been underneath and just kind of. She could have just leaned her head back and looked like this, right?
Right.
I see.
Or she could have just gone back and watched the tape.
I think that's what it was. She looked backwards
and looked at the dailies, and
I think that's what it was. I think she looked. She did that. She looked down. And that's probably what she did. Right. So she saw
the grip.
Right. So this mom saw her son's ass. If this is the door, the door opened up. The ass is there, and Amelie's head is here.
Yep.
And she leaned back. And all right, I got Iron Man here. Like, I'm gonna use Iron Man.
Okay. Awesome.
This is Amelie. Okay. This is. Yep. This is Ethan, right? Ethan's laying this way. Wait, how am I doing? Ethan's laying this way.
Ethan needs to.
Amelie's
a figure.
This is all right. I'll use this is the superhero me. I'm gonna use this.
Nice. Okay.
So this is Amelie.
So you're
this
fucking
is
Iron Man.
Right.
Okay.
So this is Ethan. Ethan, this is you.
Okay, so
Ethan's
now
like
you're
this.
having sex with Amelie.
Amelie,
Okay,
Amelie is doing this, right? Here's the 69. So first of all, my first issue with this is it's very impolite to get to be on the top as a male when 69 with a female, because it turns into like you're just kind of like banging her face like this, and it's very, she doesn't have control over what you're shoving in her mouth, the gag reflex, right? So that's fine. But you're doing this, and then the door opens. Amelie looks like so. She bends her head backwards and sees Mom, who's over here. I'm Mom, right? So
and she's
I'm looking at this. I'm looking at Amelie. I'm
and
like,
Amelie,
right. So I'm seeing my 25-year-old son's ass, right?
yes.
Like
And then
staring
you're
at me in the
seeing
door.
the head of this little French girl.
Of Amelie is looking like
Amelie,
looking
of
at
course.
me, and I think they're eating, right, and I think she's eating. I think she's
Yeah.
eating ass, right?
Yeah.
But really, she just temporarily took the dick out of her mouth. This is my suspicion, because the door opened is what I think happened. And then when the door
That makes sense.
right, and when the door
Have you
closed,
talked to your girlfriend about this? Like what?
Amelie
you know,
resumed.
Yeah, like did you, like did you just go back to it? Like I don't, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like, what was,
I mean, would you finish or
like,
not?
what were the next steps there? I mean, okay.
I mean, Ethan.
You don't want your mom to think you're into some freaky shit.
Right.
Too late, man. Like
right.
it doesn't. Whatever. Your mom's gonna think what she's gonna think.
Yeah.
Regardless of what that. There is no world in which you explaining how that particular sexual maneuvering was of a more
Vanilla. Right.
conventional way than
right.
freaky shit.
Exactly.
As you say.
It wasn't like she was laying down and you were having regular intercourse with her with the hole in the sheet. You know what I mean? That's like the
Right.
That's the pure
Yes.
Puritan way. You were
Like
you know
good Christians should.
clean
Yeah.
Christian sex, right? You were not doing that at all, right? You were 69ing her with you on top, right? There's no
Right. Yeah,
non-freaky.
you were doing it. You were 69ing wrong.
Correct.
You were doing it impolitely, as
Right.
Vanguard has said.
A good-
I didn't even know the social etiquette rules around it, but
just saying.
clearly Vanguard does it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wouldn't do that.
he had props. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, go. I will definitely
Yeah.
defer to you on this.
Yeah, I guess I would. The only case I would do that is if it was like, if she's laying on the bed with her head towards the
In
edge.
case you do what? E on top.
Yeah, the only
would-
case
okay.
situation I can see. So she's laying on the bed and with her head near the edge. You walk by, she grabs your penis, starts playing with it, like maybe starts sucking on it, right? So now she's in this inverted position, and you're like, oh, this feels really good, and you're like, oh, you know what? I should return the favor, and I will lean over.
Right.
You know what I mean? I could see it organically evolving like that, but other than that, it's not a
Right.
cool possession. Do that
Okay,
way.
but
we really analyzed this
and
one.
I know-
I don't know if this.
I
is
know that
necessary.
you are very, you are deeply into the mechanics and details
am.
of the actual sex itself.
I am.
I know that's your thing,
am.
but from more of just a general question standpoint of like what he should do about it,
Nothing.
nothing, man. Never
Nothing.
happened.
Agreed.
No,
Nothing.
just you walk by. Next time you see your mom, nod your head. Hopefully she nods back. That is you have discussed it, and it is forever
Done.
gone.
Done.
I think that is.
I wonder if mom told
that is the
dad.
best way
Do you
to,
think mom told dad? Wait, she thinks
Mom
she told him?
absolutely told dad.
Yeah. She's like,
Oh, actually,
Here's
no.
what-
It
here's
depends on
what-
what type of relationship.
here's what your
Oh,
son
yeah.
did. That's what it would be. Here's what your son was doing when I
Right.
walked in the room.
And would the dad be like, "Nice"?
That's my
Or
boy.
would he be like, "Oh my god!
Oh, horse.
like, wow, that was really
Oh.
Amelie.
Yeah.
She's pretty good looking. That's it,
All
okay,
right, okay.
Oh, I mean, no. I mean, horrible. That's I can't. Oh,
High
Ethan.
five,
Oh,
son.
disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I am not going to go upstairs and give him a high five
Right.
or a
Anyway,
knuckle hit.
yeah, we went into this one a lot. When the answer is do nothing. So Ethan, do nothing.
Right. The answer is
Just
that. Yeah, I mean,
pretend
because
never
some of
happened.
us were very, very invested in the details
You just
of
needed to understand the
especially
logistics.
the counterbalancing and who is on top and who's
Yeah.
on bottom. That was
Yeah.
all very important information.
I agree. I'm glad we went through that forensic exercise. That was actually very important to me. So I'm glad we did that.
Yes, I did that for you.
Thank you. I appreciate
Unfortunately,
it. Thank you for hearing me.
It is time for speed round.
It is time for speed
and
round,
it's me
so
this time.
It is, which I'm very happy about actually, because I feel like I was
And
wrong
that
last time.
You're happy that it's not.
Yeah, I got weird questions last time, but I'm okay with it. I've gotten over it. I had a week. But all right, so speed
Yeah,
rounds.
you got no. Okay.
I'm gonna 5-question rapid fire Green Pants here, and he's got 60 seconds to answer all 5 questions. That's it. So I guess The timer will start when I finish reading the first question. Green pants are
Yep.
you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What is the biggest lie you've ever told?
I have never knowingly slept with any of your then current girlfriends.
As a Fish fan, how overblown are the Grateful Dead?
Completely overblown. Grateful Dead brought the drugs. Fish brought the actual musical ability.
Got it. If you were a dog, what breed would you want to be?
Australian cattle dog. They
Right.
live the longest,
Fine choice.
I think.
Has someone ever caught you dancing in front of a mirror?
I take exception to the word caught.
I concur.
That implies something nefarious or untoward was going on.
Yes.
I was dancing, and I was absolutely not trying to take a picture of my own asshole. Like, that move was just, it was a dance move.
Yes, understood.
So,
What
stop
was?
talking to me about it.
All right, 10 questions. 10 seconds. What was your last prank phone call?
Oh, I didn't have to say
Okay. So our time ended, but Green Pants, your audio got a little weird on the last question there. Just so you know, I don't know if your microphone did something weird. I don't know if you want to check your mic. We're having a technical issue. No, it's weird. It's weird. Yeah. Make an adjustment there if possible. So I hear things. Exciting. Any success?
Is that better?
Yes. What did you do?
That is better.
Yes. A little faint, but better. You want to put it closer to your throat, much like Ethan was doing with Amelie.
Right. Exactly. And I had to. No. So I'm sorry. So what I said about
Last prank phone
the
call. We'll do a
prank
time
phone call
extension because it's
is
technical
that
issue.
I didn't really have to make them because my phone number when I was a freshman in college was the old number of a gag gift store, which was hilarious.
So the prank phone calls came to you. You didn't have to go to them.
Yeah, and I just so a very it was
Bite.
I couldn't believe that the amazing amount of fortune that I got into when the phone number that I was assigned in my first year of college, went back and still had that landline, that the phone rang one day and the gentleman asked if I sold inflatable sheep.
Yes.
And I was curious. This was
Yes.
before spam calling and all that. So this was a real person on the phone asking
for
about
inflatable
sheep. I was able to discern through my conversation with him that my number is listed in the yellow pages as a joke comic prop shop of some kind, where you would get, like, they sold magic stuff, but they also sold ostensibly inflatable sheep,
Yes.
things like that. So this guy wanted to buy inflatable sheep a lot, and so I told him where he could find them and where my business was. So this is before the internet or anything, so I gave him an address. I don't know where it was, but it was somewhere. He found it and then called me back and was like, I don't see your store. And I said, where are you? And he told me where he was. And I was like, that's not where we are at. And I gave him a completely different address. And we did this 5 times.
Oh my God.
So it was like, it was the easiest set of prank calls. It was like over the course of 2 days. And he's just like, I've been driving around, motherfucker, for all, I can't, it's like, and I'm the one, like, you're the one that called a college dorm room looking for inflatable sheep, man. Like,
what do you think was going to happen?
I'm sorry this happened to you.
This is the natural consequence. Right. You're right. Like, you're like, I'm just doing my part on behalf of the universe's balance.
You called me. Like, each time you've called me. So I know that's really ironic, but
that's great.
you played a trick on yourself. And I was really glad to be a part of that.
That's great. That's great. I'm trying to think what mine was. We used to call, again, college, the dorm down the hall and mess with the guy. It was pretty gullible. I think one time I sold a magazine subscription. Like, I'm trying to sell magazine, professional. type of publication. Please, I cannot feed my family unless you buy magazine, please.
Yeah, you were in the all guys dorm, weren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, so we
we were
had
just
girls in our
bored.
dorm, and so
I know.
we were yeah,
We were in the cool dorm.
uh,
Ugh, so
but yeah.
much
So what kind
penis.
of dog would you be?
Oh,
I said
yeah.
Australian cattle dog because there's this dog, Old Blue, I think
Yeah,
Old Bluey or something.
okay.
But that's like 29 years old.
Oh, shit.
And it's like the oldest living dog, and
Wow.
I believe it's an Australian cattle dog.
Wow.
They're called like blue heelers.
I wouldn't want to be a dog, but if I had to be a dog, I'd pick a dog. I mean, my favorite dog's the Siberian Husky, so I guess I'd be that dog.
Okay.
The wolf.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bit to it.
Yeah. You hate man's best friend. For
I
some
do not
reason.
hate man's best
You're-
friend. I just do not
you
want
just
one
should-
in my home. I wish to be a dog uncle. I will visit the dog, play with the dog, love the dog, and then leave. And then you may walk the dog at 5:30 in the morning.
I might.
That's my
Yeah.
preferred scenario.
All right. Well, you can be an uncle to my dogs if that
Thank you.
is.
I'd love to be an uncle to your dog. I'd love to be an uncle to your
Um,
dog. What else? And dancing in front of the mirror, obviously, same. And also naked, same. And being caught, I don't consider it being caught. I consider it being observed.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Being observed, just like
Being caught
Ethan
implies you have
and
shame.
Emily.
Right. Being caught implies you have shame.
Yeah.
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 No shame.
Everything goes back to Ethan and Amelie over there in Minnesota. Like
In the
if
soda.
if you have no shame, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
You know what? She just saw
Own it.
two kids having a good time. That's it.
Do it.
That is,
Own
that
it.
She saw two people exploring the human body and how they could, adjust their serotonin and dopamine levels.
And
You know,
even if it
that's-
involved eating ass, it's fine. Nothing.
yeah,
Oh.
even if it's freaky shit, as
Freak.
Ethan had said.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, yeah. Fish fans and dead fans, man, they are. They do not get along, do they? You don't think there's any crossovers? Have you ever
No,
met
they do.
crossover people?
Oh no, they absolutely. There was a time when it was just almost all crossover because
Okay.
you had Fish starting to get big in like the very very early 90s.
Yes.
The Grateful Dead were already
70s, yeah,
playing
legends.
stadiums and stuff. So they but because it was like jam band type of music, those same fans who liked the Grateful Dead also joined in that Fish community because there was a very similar vibe. So having been to both many Grateful Dead shows and Fish shows, there is a very common vibe in the parking lot.
Got it.
Once you get into the actual establishment, the Grateful Dead, when most of them were still alive, they didn't play music very well. They just got really high really well
Yes.
and seemed to have a good time and made the music that was sometimes in tune, sometimes they remembered words to songs. It was great. And then for professional musicians, performed from what's the Goddard School of Music, formed Fish and actually have musical
Played
ability
enjoyable music,
in addition
yes.
to being massive drug users.
Yes. Huge users. Yes, for sure.
Connection is drugs.
Yes,
It's
for sure.
The connection is the drugs.
That's
Both
right.
the drugs.
What was your lie again? What was your biggest lie? Oh, it was. And was that to me? Were you addressing that to me, by the way? I think you did.
I don't.
It felt like you
I don't
looked
even
right in
remember,
my
mate. I
eyes.
don't-
It was. It was like I did not
I don't-
sleep with your girlfriend.
don't-
And you looked at me when you said it.
I don't. Why would I? That's weird.
Why would you?
That's what you said.
Because
Why- I don't know.
I think
Why
we
would-
can review the recording and find out it's what you said.
Water under the bridge, man. Oh, water under the bridge. It's fine. Stop harping on it. What's your biggest lie?
Oh, I don't really lie.
Says the person who never tells
Right.
lies. I'm
So
very.
I don't even know if I have one. I mean, I did when I was younger. So what would my
Right.
biggest lie be? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to look cool in front of some people, so I told them I played the piano before I knew how to play the piano, something like that. You know what I mean? Oh, and then this was funny. This is actually funny.
You didn't have your sexual prowess. You didn't make your sexual prowess more larger than it was.
No, I live up to the hype.
To your peer groups.
The reality lives up to the hype in that case.
I have seen the band pictures.
Have you?
I'm just saying.
So, but this is an interesting side story. So what was it? I was with a group of friends. They said said, "Oh, well, you don't play any real instruments, do you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I play the piano." I totally made it up, and they're like, "No, you don't." I'm like, "I do." Like, and then we were by like, "Hey, play the piano," and there's an actual, like a keyboard was there,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm called out, right?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I can kind of figure this." So I understood because I played other instruments at the time. I understood intervals and stuff, right? So I'm like, if I just space my fingers apart, huh?
Like, first of all, like,
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
did play a real instrument.
I did, just not the
Like,
piano. Yeah.
But so you knew music.
I
So
did.
So it's not like I have no musical ability
That's
whatsoever.
true.
I'm
That's
just like, oh
fair.
yeah,
That's
I'm a
fair.
guitar god.
That's fair.
Like-
But it was interesting in that when I was finally called out and I sat down at the piano, I'm like, holy shit, what am I going to do? And I figured out, oh, wait a minute, I understand the intervals between musical notes, white keys, black keys. And I'm like, I'll just like space my fingers out a little bit and go like this. And it sounded pretty decent. So I just kind of played. It sounded okay.
You just put up some riffs or
Just
some melodies.
made it up.
Hey, I mean,
Yeah.
The
There you go.
yeah. What else do we have? The
I think that was it.
yeah, prank phone calls. Yeah, no, I
Prank
think
phone
we
call.
covered everything.
Mm-hmm. We did.
Um,
That was a good 5 for you. That was a good speed run.
yeah, those I felt comfortable, very comfortable with
Especially
those.
with the first question, because you are an
yeah.
aficionado.
Yeah, I am. I not now I'm older. I have children, a job, and not time to
Go to a fish concert.
wake and bake each day.
Wake and
Um,
bake.
So my wake and bake days are behind me.
Yes.
So yes, there have been days where I woke up in a tent and at Great Went,
Next to my
Clifford
next to my
Ball.
girlfriend, apparently.
Lemon Wheel. Not all of them.
Not all of them. All of them at once.
It's a complicated. Listen,
You
it's
had
like,
a-
what and define girlfriend. What
Did
does
you-
it mean? Does it mean okay, you went on a few dates, whatever?
Did you have a
know?
reverse gangbang with every girl I've ever dated?
Okay.
Is that what-
Yeah, Right. Again, those are your words. You're saying things. Those are
Right.
all coming out of your mouth. I'm not. I'm just. You're speaking your truth, and that's fine. I'm not. These are all.
You neither confirm
Neither
or
here nor
deny. Yes. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Well, I think we did some help today. I think we did some.
Oh, I think we absolutely.
I
did.
think-
if anything, I much better understand the physics of 69.
Thank you.
So for that, I thank you.
Yep. My pleasure.
I hadn't thought about the physics of it that much, but you were spot on.
Yeah.
And let's see. Yeah, if someone steals your license and commits felonies,
Right.
do what you need to
Do what you need
extricate
to
yourself from that situation.
Remove yourself from the
That one-
situation. Yes.
Gotta be honest, that one felt like a freebie.
It just.
That was
a
pretty
little
easy.
hyper- No, the real freebie. Well, right. Yeah, for sure. But the phone again, we ask our users,
Take-
please
take
fill in
the
those
bong if you
details.
want.
We need those key details sometimes that sometimes folks miss, like poor Carl about his wife's photos, right? We had to assume a lot
Right.
of things.
because that really could go a bunch of different ways.
Bunch of different-
But still, I still think it's to talk to her because it's, yeah, I had, there was lots of key details missing there. I
There
think
was.
that
There was.
that would be that if the needle swung one way or the other just a little bit, it would
Could
really
have-
change the whole scenario.
Exactly. Exactly. But
butterfly
I
effect.
think we did the best of what we had to work with. I think that worked out.
I think so too.
Yeah.
If you want to take a picture of a bong, it's 2025. Go ahead. Like
Yes.
you'll be fine.
Yes.
No, no one's gonna put it on your LinkedIn page or something.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah. So
Um,
with that said, dude, next week is our 50th episode, 50. That is
It is.
crazy.
I don't know what you're planning to get me. I know it'll be something
it'll
good.
be something.
It'll be
It'll be
something from the
something.
heart.
Yeah.
And I know you'll spend a lot of time and thought into it, and I'm very excited to see what you bring.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be
to
great.
the show.
So yeah, fantastic.
I will be there too.
Yes.
I'm because I don't know if you're. You see, this is we're all assuming that you will call me. I've been called 49 times.
because but
Each time.
yes,
That's what I'm saying.
it's the 50th episode.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely consider this the calling that's happening right now for the 50th episode.
Boom! Finally.
Right.
Okay. Yes.
So now you can actually
So,
plan your
okay,
day around it. I
everybody,
mean, it's
I'm not here next week. He Oh, the lie.
Right.
And you know what?
Right.
The whole house of cards can crashing down.
It
Look at
would,
that.
because I don't lie, right? That's what would happen, basically. So, yeah,
Exactly.
that's true.
And the universe folds in on itself, and yeah, it's
You know,
that's
Tesseract will form and just suck in, right?
right.
It's-
Exactly. Instant heat death of universe.
All right, everybody. So we will be back here 1 week from today for our 50th episode at 9:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. So please come on back. Submit your questions, because we need your questions to answer. Otherwise, we're just going to talk about Star Wars for a whole hour, and you know, some may find that interesting.
Or the
but
mechanics of 69.
and Mechanics
So,
69,
it'll depend.
right? So
Just
interesting,
fans,
but
just fans. You never know what you're gonna
exactly. And that might be, you may find that interesting, but not the reason, not the theme. You know what I mean? So don't let us go off on tangents. So other than that,
get. You don't get upset.
you
Okay?
get it's a free show. I mean, what can you?
Yeah.
There's no ads.
And
Come on.
if you want,
It's
if you put the
ad-free.
context into your questions, that would be helpful.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So a little less attitude from the viewers, please.
Help us help you. That's, I think what we're saying.
And a little sass.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
And Super J, glad to have you back. Glad you enjoyed your
We love
trip. We missed you. We love you.
I really hope you brought some of that Hobbiton weed back with you.
Hobbiton
'cause
weed.
That Gandalf, if you met him. Yes.
Yes, they do it on the big girly pipe.
That is the only way to smoke proper
Hobbiton
Gandalfian weed.
There you go. Exactly.
Right.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next week. So
Right.
everybody,